Today is Wesak Day, of course, and I want to talk about two subjects in short. One is about choice. One is about the power and benefit of stupas. And I would like everybody here that we're going to spend the next 2-3 hours together to please fully pay attention. There's a few reasons why you should fully pay attention. Because Dharma is the only method that will bring you happiness. Dharma and knowing Dharma and practicing Dharma and understanding Dharma is the only way that we can have any happiness. If we check ourselves from the time we are born till now, what have we achieved? From the time we were born until this very moment, what have we actually achieved? If we were to actually die tonight, what can we say we have actually achieved? If we haven't achieved much except for some material gains in our life, some money, a house, a boyfriend, a husband, a wife, if that's all we have gained, then we haven't gained much at all in our lives. Now, for some of you, that might be quite shocking. You might say, well, that's what I was told. I'm supposed to get married. I'm supposed to have a relationship. I'm supposed to have children. I'm supposed to feel happy about all of that. Well, you know, yes, you were told that. Yes, this is what society promotes. This is what everybody tells you. Yes, this is what everyone says. But did you come to realize that the people telling you perhaps had the same limited wisdom as we do? And when we have the same limited wisdom, so it's like the blind leading the blind. If you check yourselves deeply, don't listen to the TV, don't listen to commercials, don't listen to friends or people. If you check yourself very deeply and you are in the quiet of your mind, ask yourself, are you happy? Do you feel satisfied with what you've accomplished? Ask yourself these questions. Why should you ask yourself these questions? Because no one can answer you. This is not about religion. Yes, I am a Buddhist monk. Yes, this is a Buddhist center. But you know what? The Buddhist center and the Buddhist monk is just a label. Because what I'm sharing with you transcends any labels that humans have given to religion. Religion is a label humans have given. Religion is a label that you give it. So therefore, what I'm trying to tell you or share with you transcends any spiritual labels. If all religions think in such a way, there will be no more conflicts in the world. There is no right, there is no wrong, there's just truth. And the truth is, you have to look inside yourself and say, am I happy? Am I happy? The second question you have to ask yourself is, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 10 years ago, what I set myself out to do, have I accomplished it? Or along the way, I got distracted many times. 10, 20, 30 years ago, what I have set out to do with my life, have I accomplished it? Or have I gotten used to not accomplishing it? And then I do things to keep myself occupied, busy, from looking at the truth. And this is what we need to examine in ourselves. Yes, we're businessmen, we're housewives, we're children, we're parents, we're students. You see, but those are all labels, and they don't stay with you. The housewife, the mother will become a grandmother. It changes. Maybe not become a grandmother. The student becomes an adult. The young person becomes old. The beautiful person's beauty fades. Now, if we look deep into ourselves and we ask ourselves, very honestly, have we achieved what we want to achieve, what we set out to achieve? Have we achieved it? And if it's no, you're being very honest. If it's yes, I hate to say it this way because you can't win with me, you're being very deluded. Yes, you can't win with me either way. And this is not a win-lose situation, by the way. You're deluded. Why? Do you think that the purpose for you to be born into the world is just to have a girlfriend? That's it. It's just to have a boyfriend, a wife. Oh, I've got 2 kids. That's the reason I was born into the world. Do you think that you living on this planet, using its resources, using the resources of your friends, using the resources of your co-workers, using the resources of the people around you, do you think the purpose is fulfilled? Do you think that you have achieved your purpose in life? If you have not achieved it, then you have to self-examine why. And by the way, all these things I'm sharing with you now is not something I'm telling you from me to you. It is something that I self-examine with myself. All these questions that I give you are not things that I'm telling you that I have achieved and I'm so great and that, guess what, I'm lecturing down to you. No, these are questions I ask myself. Because I'm not satisfied, ever, with just a good home, a good meal, some money in the bank, a good relationship, some name and fame. I'm not satisfied with that. I've never, ever been satisfied with that. If I'm satisfied with that, I'm deluded. Why am I deluded? Because none of us came into the world just to achieve that. Animals achieve that. So if I'm satisfied with that, I'm deluded. If I'm not satisfied with that, I need to examine in myself, why am I not satisfied? Why am I not achieving what I want to achieve? Sometimes, to achieve this, we get rid of this. Instead of going for this, which all this will be included, we go for this. If we go for this, everything is included. If we go for this, all this is lost. Spirituality. Spirituality. And this is something I want to make very clear tonight for you and the thousands of people around the world who will be watching this. I want to make something very clear, and I want to tell you all of this, not in criticism to what you believe, or not in criticism to what you've been brought up with, or not in criticism to what is right and wrong. I'm not here to criticize you. But it is something that I have studied, and I have come to the conclusion with my great teachers. Teachers that are very, very attained. Very, very vast. Spirituality. The common degeneration in spirituality in the world today has become like this. And I'm not just talking about one religion. I'm talking about in all religions. The common degeneration that has happened in religion these days is this. We are festered with selfishness, mind games, cover-ups, laziness, comfort zones. And we don't want to challenge these qualities in us that can change into the opposite quality. And these negative qualities in us make us do negative things. Not appreciate people around us. Not push ourselves to do more. Always stuck. Always unhappy. Always creating unhappiness around us. These qualities in us, we have in us, we don't work on it. And 1 year, we operate from those qualities. 2 years, we operate from those qualities. 3 years, we operate from those qualities. 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. And you know what happens? Eventually, everything we have done from those qualities come back to us. When we're lazy, at 40, we're nowhere. When we were selfish at 30, we can't get a girlfriend that will stay with us. And that itself is not a big achievement anyways. And at 50, we look back and say, my youth is gone. Now, it's difficult for me to practice. A common misconception is, oh, when you're young, enjoy yourself, have a family, and save your money. When you're older, do Dharma. How many older people do you see doing Dharma? Sincerely do Dharma? Impossible. That's what the Lamrim says. That's what my teacher says. Usually when we pass 50, we slow down dramatically. So if you have this delusion that you will practice more when you've achieved money, when you've achieved your goals, and you've reached a certain age, and then that's normal, it's not normal. Because when you're 50 and above, you start going downhill. With me, I started going downhill at 40. You will not practice Dharma. You'll be even more enamored, stuck in your habits. If you find it difficult to practice Dharma now, imagine you with your fixations compounded even more 10 years later, 20 years later, 30 years later, along with health problems, along with metabolical slowdown. Do you think you will do more Dharma? I doubt it. The monks who become monks in a monastery when they're 15, 20 years old, they end up to, most of them, and many of them end up to be great masters. The monks who come to the monastery and become monks at 40 or 50 or 60, they're just ordinary monks who clean up the monastery. I've observed this even in my own society. So if you think you're going to do Dharma later, I'm not saying it's impossible, there are exceptions, but I'm saying as a general rule. Now, we live our lives with self-deception. If we get money, if we get more of it, if we get as much as we can, if we get a relationship, if we get as much as we can, if we get praise, if we get adulation, if we get a lot of attention and friends, if we have beauty, we will be totally happy. We will totally be beneficial. And we're not, because we spend all our time achieving something we can never achieve. Now we live 1 year like that, 2 years like that, 10 years like that, 15 years like that, 30 years like that. And then all these problems come back to us. Our not wanting to change, make our spouses go away, make our kids go away, make our friends not stick around, make us not achieve anything, make us defensive, make us waste time, make us even push the Dharma aside, although we have maybe found a good teacher and a good doctrine. We even push that aside. And then we see the people around us die. Our fathers, our uncles, our mothers, our aunts, our friends, they die. And that is where we're going to go. So we make all these problems for 10, 20, 30 years. And then all these problems come back to us. And when these problems come back to us, our boyfriend wants to leave, our girlfriend wants to leave, our kids don't listen to us anymore, our business is not working out, or we have too much money, we don't know what to do with ourselves, we're bored, or we're too old. When all these problems come to us, then we say, oh, let's go to the temple. Let's go to the church. Let's go to the synagogue or whatever. And then we pray. And we pray fervently, religiously, voraciously, emotionally, dramatically in some cases. And we pray from the depths of our heart for the God to remove all of our problems. Where can a God remove your problem? Whether it's a Christian God, a Hindu God, a Buddhist God, or whatever God. Where can a God remove your problems? That means every single one of us who are pious and devout and pray from our heart should have zero problems. And trust me, you would be surprised that I have more problems than you and I'm a monk. Oh, you would be surprised if you knew the problems that I have to deal with on a daily basis. When we're ungrateful, when you've been helped and you're ungrateful and you run away and you don't help, you give nothing back, problems will come to you. Do you know why problems will come to you? Let's forget about karma. Not everybody here accepts karma, that's okay. But that attitude that you exude to take and use as much as you can and when they're not of use anymore to you, you just disappear, you contribute nothing, you will bring that to the next person, and the next person, and the next person, and the next person. And you know what? After a while, you leave a trail of broken hearts. I'm not talking about romantic. That reputation you grows. So, when you have for decades created all these problems for yourself and your own mind and your surroundings, and you go to a God and you do 1 million Setrat mantras, you do 1 million Hail Marys, and your problems are still there, well, you have two ways to get rid of it. One is you give up the faith and say it doesn't work, it doesn't exist, or you reassess yourself and say, maybe that's not the purpose of religion. And religion has degenerated. Partly my fault, your fault, all of our faults. Religion has degenerated into that, where we want an instant, quick fix for all the problems we created for decades. So for decades, you're not alert, you knock things down, you break things, you walk by, you push things aside. Suddenly you want to pray to Manjushri that you get awareness and your mind stays alert. But all these years you haven't practiced alertness. Incredible. Okay, you go out and you say nasty things and you're mean to people and you hurt them, you cheated them, you lied to them, and you basically took things from them. And then you want to go to the church and pray, dear God, can you please make them go away, although I cheated them, I've lied, I've stolen from them, but can you please make them go away because I'm a devout follower of yours. I'm your wonderful son and daughter. And you're a forgiving, kind, and compassionate God. So therefore, of course you'll forgive me of my sins. Yes, he will, she will, who knows what God is. He, she, or it will forgive you of your sins, but that guy who you cheated won't. How does God take away that problem? If God can take away that problem, all the lawyers would not exist anymore. But in fact, the last time I checked, lawyers are increasing. The law firm is increasing. And lawyers in America, they're very, very wealthy. Very wealthy. And around here, when you tell people, oh, I'm a lawyer, they go, wow. Well, if God, if Buddha, if all these beings can take away our problems, we would need policemen. We would need the law. We would need government. We would not need anything. And people say, well, it's free choice. Come on, don't be ridiculous. Why is it that the predicament you're born into is not a free choice, but once you're born into it and you have all these problems, it's free choice? Doesn't make sense to me. So I'm going one step more. If we make all these problems for ourselves, you know, we go there and say, oh, we grow up. When I grow up, my goal in life is to have 5 kids, and I'm going to be real happy with 5 kids. And once you get to 5 kids, you can't support them. You're living in a small, teeny little room. Your wife's a loser. All she does is sit around and eat potato chips, and your husband's a bigger loser. All he does is drink. And your kids are staring at mommy and daddy, wondering why they're big as a house and you're not getting any food. And then you're worried. What about their schooling? What about their education? What about their clothing? What about them? What about them? Look, you made those problems. You made those problems. Now you come to the temple, you come to the church and you say, guess what? Dear whatever's on the altar, dear whatever's on the shrine, I've got 5 kids to support and I really need more money. Can you bless me to get more money? And that's religion. And if they're blessed to get more money, wow, the religion worked. The priest, the monk is powerful. Wow, it's just a coincidence. Okay, if I had the power to give you money, I've said this 100 times, why would I give it to you? Why would I give you the money? Why would I give you the money and have you skip back home and enjoy yourselves and I'm sitting here still begging for chaman? If I had the power, or any priest or any nun or any monk or even the Pope, okay, even the Dalai Lama, if they had the power to give you money, maybe they'll give it to you, but I won't. Why should I give you my money? But that tells you I don't have the power. If I don't have the power, why would anything on the altar have the power to give you money? Why would anything in the sky that has formless, tasteless, sexless, genderless will give you money? You see, because if you didn't have those 5 kids, you wouldn't have the financial problems. Simple. Now, another example. If you've been with people that love you, or respect you, or care about you, or close to you, or friends with you, and you didn't treat them well, you didn't get close to them, and you leave them. It doesn't mean a physical leaving, emotionally. And later when you need help, or later when you need friends, or later when you find out they were the real friends, and you go back to them, but they don't have the same feeling for you anymore because you abandoned them, or left them, or felt they weren't useful for you. Then what's the point to pray to God to bring you good friends? What's the point to pray to a deity to bring you friends? There's no point. And this is what I mean about degeneration in religion. Degeneration in religion is when we use religion to continue to fulfill our negative, our selfish aspirations. I want everybody to check themselves. I'm not going to check you. I can't check you. But I want everybody to check themselves and say, when you do your prayers, if you do your prayers, what do you pray for? If you pray for materialistic, worldly advantages, that is not spirituality. That is not religion. That is not the purpose of religion. And if you keep praying, doing mantras and praying for for material gains, you will continue to be disappointed and unhappy. Why? If the front of the car is this way and the rear of the car is this way, and you keep backing up and driving this way, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to say, why does this car operate correctly? Why do people keep honking at me? Why do I keep getting into accidents? Because you're driving the car this way when it should be this way. So if the car's front is this way, you drive this way, it's much better for you, much safer. Similarly with religion, with Dharma, with any religion. If you use religion in the correct way, you will definitely get benefits. Any religion. One thing in Buddhism that's very strong, because it is the religion of peace. There has never been a war in the name of Buddhism for 2,600 years. Since Buddha's holy arrival on this planet until now, there has never been a war in the name of Buddhism or in the name of Buddhists anywhere in the world. And Buddhists are not known to destroy holy places or other religions or force convert them or bribe them to conversion. No such thing. Buddha never taught that. None of the Buddhist monks and priests are allowed to do that. My point? One thing that's very strong in Buddhism is to respect another person's religion. Let me explain why. That point in Buddhism, in all forms of Buddhism, is very strong to respect other people's religion is because you give people a choice. That choice is up to the individual. A religion cannot be forced upon by fear. It cannot be forced upon by coercion or by bribery. Going to poor people, giving them things, and then converting them. That's not conversion. It cannot be done that way in Buddhism. You're given a choice. Why? If you take the tenets of religion, if you take the tenets, and you truly follow it, you will see yourself more successful. Why? If you follow the tenets of religion correctly, you will see yourself more successful. Why? Because true religious engagement helps you to develop the qualities to make you successful. Patience, fortitude, commitment, integrity, respect. So when you follow religion all the way and correctly, and you take the tenets of religion, I need everyone to go beyond taking refuge in a God, in a supreme being, and then throwing one's problems onto this being, and pushing away one's responsibilities, and just doing prayers and mantras to say, solve my problem. We need to go beyond that already. We need to follow religion correctly. If religion was only about acceptance of a superior being and then everything is solved, then the great prophets and masters such as Buddha and Jesus and all that would not have taught volumes of teachings on how to change your mind. Jesus Christ taught volumes and volumes of teachings if you take the time to read. Acceptance of a God is just one small or one minor or one preliminary criteria. Same thing for Buddha. He taught for 40 years until he was 81. If acceptance of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha taking refuge was enough to solve our problems and to release us of our predicaments, then Buddha doesn't need to teach 108 volumes as in the Kangyur teachings. Kangyur is the spoken words of the Buddha. The Bible is one book. In Buddhism, there are 108 Bibles. Those are the spoken words of the Buddha, recorded down and written. Very extensive. My point, if it was just okay to come along and say, oh, I made all these problems, solve it because I accept you, then it's just, all we need is half a page. In the Kangyur, we need half a page. In the Bible, just half a page is enough. Oh, it's so simple. Just accept and everything's fine. You show me one person in this room or anywhere in the world by accepting, everything was fine. I have accepted for 25 years. Look at me, and I'm still not fine. How much more do you want me to accept? I've shaved off my hair. I've given up all the things that you consider pleasurable. And I've trapped myself as a monk. How closer do I need to get to my God? Oh my God. How closer do I need to get? I'm supposed to be a world-famous, renowned Buddhist teacher now. You know, when you Google me, I come top 10. Sing Piao tells me. No, not even top 10, top 5. When you Google Rinpoche, I come out top 5 in the whole world. Do you know out of all the Dharma teachers, I'm top 5? But I still have a tremendous amount of problems. Created by myself, and created by others, and created together with others. It's like a waltz. It takes 2 hands to clap. In my case, too many hands clapping together. So what am I trying to tell you? Some of my problems are solved because I've applied Buddha's teachings. Some of my problems were solved because I didn't stop at saying, oh, I accept Buddha, he's my savior, and I'm going to be fine. And then I can do whatever I want and not transform my mind and keep doing what I want. And then when I die, I got to go to heaven. And then all the other delusionary people say, he went to heaven. My God, there are people who killed, yesterday. I just saw a program about SS soldiers, one of the biggest war criminals in the world that instigated the killing of millions of Jews. And they escaped. And when they died, they buried them. They have ceremonies. They have a cross. And then their families are crying, saying, he's going to go to heaven. He had a good life. How could you have had a good life when you killed millions of people? Oh, because he believed in God. So God is forgiving. So what about Mother Teresa? So she's up there with these ex-SS soldiers in the same place enjoying themselves? You mean when the Dalai Lama dies, he hangs out with the SS soldiers too? Hitler? I don't understand. So we've become a religion of, if I accept religion, everything is fine. I don't have to make an effort. I don't have to change. I don't have to transform. I don't have to go for Dharma classes. You know why? Because I'm a good person. Why? Don't harm others. What? Don't harm others. I'm religious. What? I got Tsongkhapa on my altar. What? I got Buddha on my altar. I'm offering what? On Wesak Day, I come see you, I offer you flower, what? I'm good, what? These are things I hear all the time. Some of my students I see once a year. I got the merits to see them. Some of my students I see once a year. I keep thinking, who has the merits, me or them? And we've degenerated religion into something like that. Not all of us. Don't get me wrong, I didn't say religion is degenerated. No. I said some of us have degenerated religion. Into what? Into bringing the gods down to the level of a ghost. Why? We go to ghosts and say, give me 4D, give me girlfriend, give me boyfriend. People go to banana trees, put pins and say, give me 4D. Then they come to the temple, they go to Buddha Tsongkhapa. I mean, Tsongkhapa is really supreme. Oh, give me 4D. What's the difference? What's the difference? As long as we keep allowing animals to be killed, and we eat animals, there are karmic repercussions. We will have diseases of our body. So when you get sick, remember that's a direct result of you eating animals. So when you get sick, mantras, pujas, all that, is very little help. Why? You create the causes. As long as you keep putting corpses in your mouth, having them slaughtered, butchered, tortured, and killed. I go to wet markets in KL, and I go and I take students there to see how the chickens are cooped up the whole night before they're slaughtered to death. Slaughtered, plucked, killed. And then you eat it. As long as you eat these beings who die in terror, who you are the cause of their death, indirectly, you will have diseases of your body. Expect cancer. Expect all kinds of problems to come to your body. You create the causes. As long as you continue to lie, accept that you will be lonely. Loneliness is not whether you have people around you or not. Loneliness is even when you have people around you, you feel lonely. And if you always try to get money from people, accept the fact that later you will not have money. And if you have money, you will not be able to spend it. It's as if you don't have money. If you cheat people, that will be a result. No God, no Buddha can take away those problems from you. You created it. If you have the Dharma in front of you, you don't learn, you don't absorb it, you don't make the time for it. You don't make the time for the Dharma, you don't make an effort for the Dharma. When things come, as you get older, and you're mumbled, you're confused, you're scared, remember, you had a chance to avoid this. You had a chance to avoid all this. So, we have degenerated, some of us have degenerated religion into we enjoy, we take, we accumulate as much as we can or keep wishing for it, and when the problems come, we go to a God to remove our problems. How can anyone or anything remove our problems? How can a ghost remove our problems? How can a God remove our problems? Then you say maybe gods and Buddhas and all that don't exist. Well, if Buddhas don't exist, and gods don't exist, and higher beings don't exist, there could be no Dharma. If there's no Dharma, there could be no persons who can teach you about compassion and who have compassion. That means I don't exist, that my teachers don't exist. Nobody exists, nothing exists. That also doesn't make sense. So therefore, we degenerate the religion into something of putting it on an altar and praying for good business, praying for a son, praying for a daughter, praying for a child, praying for more money, praying for all these things. And you know, that's not the purpose of religion at all. That has never, ever been the purpose of religion. The purpose of religion is for you to accept and understand the tenets and the teachings, and to apply that to your qualities, to make your good qualities increase and your not so good qualities transform into good qualities. And when you have these good qualities and you operate from that space, then you become successful. Why do you become successful when you operate from good qualities? Success is subjective, okay? Because all of us have different measurements of success. Why is it when you operate from that space you have more success? Why? Because everywhere you go, people respect integrity. Everywhere you go, people accept patience. Everywhere you go, people accept commitment. Everywhere you go, people accept a kind person, a forgiving person. Everywhere you go, whatever country, even animals like people who are kinder and nicer. Even animals gravitate towards you, and they're supposed to be lowered intelligence, supposed to be. So we develop these qualities, and then we recite the prayers of whatever religion we belong to, recite the mantras, recite the liturgies, then we are truly blessed. Why? Prayers and liturgies are reciting something we're supposed to do, not a God is supposed to do for us. Let me repeat. The prayers that we recite are not something you recite to a God for him to do to you. It is for you to do for yourself. Then what's the purpose of a God? What's the purpose of a Buddha? Very simple. To show you what you can achieve. To show you where you can go with your lives. To show you that. Now, we have a choice. The main difference between Buddhism and monotheistic religions, the main difference is this. These days, I'm not talking about last time, these days, the main difference is if you accept a creator God, then everything is fine. Whereas in Buddhism, if you accept that you have created your problems, then everything becomes fine. Why? You take responsibility. And you do something about it. If you don't change the negative qualities inside of you, you can pray all your life and nothing will happen to you. And you can have all the priests and all the popes and all the bishops and all the high lamas and all the Rinpoches pray over your dead body, but it will not take you to a better place. If those people can take you, if I or those people can take you to a better place, then, as I told you, the teachings of the Buddha is just half a page. Maybe 1 page now. Because if you missed out on the first one, if you follow number 2, you'll still be safe. In the very near future, I will be blogging about some videos I came across of studies in America in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, where these people are not religious. It has nothing to do with any religion, and it talks about near-death experiences. And what blew my mind in the near-death experiences is what these people are experiencing is exactly what is written in the scriptures on the process of death, where one man leaves his body and he sees everything clearly and he travels to other worlds, he travels out of the planet, he sees everything perfectly. I'll blog the video very soon. And what amazed me was that these experiences after death happen to everyone, not just people who believe in religion. Now, how do we come out of this? How do we come out of this? On this Wesak day, this is the day Buddha was born. It's very big, huge celebrations in Buddhist countries. It's huge in Tibet last time, huge. It's huge in the monasteries. When Buddha was born, we're not celebrating a savior or someone who comes to save us. We're celebrating that we will find a path to save ourselves because someone will teach. So we're celebrating our own liberation. Now on Wesak Day, what I want you to leave, when you leave, what I want you to get out of here is this, is to realize what is spiritual practice. What is spiritual practice? And spiritual practice is not creating lots of problems for yourselves because you're resistant or stubborn, or you don't want to see more, or you don't want to transform and change, creating a lot of problems for yourself and hoping someone else will solve it for you, and if they don't solve it for you, you blame them. They become your problem. They become your focal point because you won't accept the truth. That is what I want you to leave here realizing. That if you accept any religion, the acceptance of religion is not so much the path or the name of the religion or the person giving you the acceptance or the priest or the monk or whatever. It's not that. It is about you absorbing what you have accepted and analyzing it and applying it and fighting yourself to become what you have accepted. I repeat, to fight with yourself to become what you have accepted. When you accept the Dharma, when you accept Christ, you have accepted compassion. Not compassion for you, compassion for others from you. You have accepted patience. Not you keep on your monkey-like ways and people be patient with you, but you are patient with others. You have accepted commitment and integrity, meaning if you have promised to do something, by hook or crook, you get it done. When you take refuge, that's what you have accepted. To have integrity, to give back, to repay kindness. Many of you in this room have received some sort of kindness from me, or from Dharma, or from Kechara House. Many people in this room. Now what I want to ask you is this: what are you giving back? If you say nothing, it's okay, because there'll be other people who come around who will give something, but it will be very sad for you, because if you run around life thinking you can take and not give, one day someone's going to say no. One day someone's going to come around and say no. And maybe by that time it's too late for you. You say, oh, what about your family? What about your parents? What about your kids? Definitely many of you in this room have received tremendous benefits. Maybe even your career or finishing school or something you've received due to Dharma. But what are you giving back? To win is not to avoid your guilt. To win is to confront your guilt, overcome it, and give back. That is how you win in life. So if you accept religion, and some of you today will take refuge. Today some of you will take refuge and some of you will become Buddhists. Good for you. Some of you are Buddhists and will take refuge again to renew your vows. Good for you. But you know what? If you leave this room today exactly the same, and you continue being exactly the same, then the refuge ceremony was a waste of time. Why is it a waste of time? Since you are taking refuge, or since the time you took refuge to now, what have you done for others? If you had done not much, then the refuge you took was not real. So we have to think. Today I will become a Buddhist. Wonderful, that's a great label. Do you know in Selangor State, I saw the statistic the other day, somebody told me 92% of the Chinese population are Buddhists in Selangor State. I was quite surprised. Because if there's that many Buddhists, there must be a tremendous amount of kindness emanating from Selangor State. But if I cut off somebody on the highway by accident, I don't feel any kindness. If they cut me off, they're not going to get kindness either. There should be a lot of kindness emanating. And that means us. So when we accept religion, this is the key, everyone. Please listen to me very carefully. I'm not asking you to accept my religion. I say that if you accept religion, that is only the first primordial, basic, rudimentary tadika steps. The next step is to read what you have accepted, to listen to what you have accepted, attend classes. If you have never had time for classes, if you have never time to read Dharma, but you have time for girlfriends and friends and parties and yum chai, then you know what will happen? One day all that will catch up to you. Then it'll be too late. I'm not punishing you. I'm not telling you God's going to punish you. It's yourself that's going to punish yourself. Because look at all the yum chais you've had. Look at all the parties and fun and friends and relationship you've had. Where is your mind right now? What have you achieved? What have you gotten? Always ask yourself that. What have you achieved from all of that? If it's nothing and you pursue that, then whatever you're feeling now that's empty will only increase with time, with age. No one gives you that feeling. If we accept a religion, if we accept a tenet, that's the teachings of that religion, tenet, then I want you to remember this. That's only the first step. We have to accept the tenet. And after we accept the tenet, study it and apply it. Listen carefully. I didn't ask you to study it to judge other people and judge people around you. Do you know why? Everybody around you that creates problems for you is a result of your own karma. That's if you accept this religion's tenet. Everybody around you who creates problems for you, instead of pointing out their lack of compassion, their lack of love, their lack of patience, their lack of understanding, their misbehavior, you remember one thing. Everybody around you that gives you problems, that makes you suffer, that gives you heartache and difficulties, was a creation of your own karma to them, and they're returning back to you. Now, when you accept that, patience comes. You can accept those people around you and their harms that they do to you with anger, getting them back, fighting, or you can accept it realizing that you were the author. So in our religious tenet, it teaches you to take responsibility. So on a psychological level, your mind already calms down. Let me give you an example. Let's say your son ran over someone's house and broke their fence. And the next time that family man sees your car, he comes and starts hitting your car. And you shout at him, he shouts at you. You shout at him, he shouts at you. And then you shout back and forth. And then when everybody calms down, he tells you, you know what your son did with your car to my yard, to my fence? You go, oh, I didn't know that. That's why you're angry. Then you realize that somehow it's from you. So when we have people that are very difficult around us, people who are very temperamental, don't pull their weight, don't pull their responsibility. Yes, they're wrong. Yes, they're wrong. But you acting wrongly will not make it right. So what you need to do is accept the fact that this is a result of your karma. Or, if you're such a good person, why would you have that come back to you? Or why would God give that to you? It must come from somewhere. There must be a cause. So if you accept this tenet, the doctrine of karma, you take instant responsibility. Does that mean you do nothing about it? No. If someone's trying to kill you, you don't sit there and say, well, that's my karma for him to try to kill me, so let him kill me. No, you protect yourself. But you don't kill him back. You don't get revenge back. See, accepting the tenet correctly, accepting Dharma correctly, doesn't mean you sit there and be a big sitting duck. It doesn't mean you just sit there and receive the abuses of everybody. It tells you that when you receive abuses, how to not to abuse back. And that's the secret. And then your mind calms down. Why does your mind come down? You're the author. That's what Buddha taught. If you have no religion, let's get them back. Then they get you back. You get them back. They get you back till no one's left. Then we might as well blow up the whole world. North Korea blows up America, we get them back. Everybody just blows everybody up. We can pick blow everybody up or take a doctrine of patience and understanding and responsibility so we survive together peacefully. That's what it is. But if we're going to pray to somebody up there in the sky to solve these problems, it's impossible because we created the problems. Dear Buddha, dear God, dear whatever's in the sky, please clean all of our oceans of all the pollutants we put in there. What's going to happen? What do you think? Moses shows up and opens up the Red Sea again and takes out the pollutants and put it back in, everything's fine? If that can happen, it would have happened. If it happened at all. Am I criticizing religion? No. I'm criticizing our wrong view and our wrong perception of what we think religion is. What we think. So what's the purpose? What's the purpose of prayer then? What's the purpose of meditation? What's the purpose of mantras? The purpose of mantras, the purpose of prayers, the purpose of reciting or chanting is this. A, to remind you what you're supposed to do. B, the mantras and the words does have tremendous power to move our body in a physiological way to assist our mind to have a calmer state. I repeat, the mantras and the prayers and the chanting and the sutras does have a very powerful physiological effect on our body. And this is proven in science because we've had some great Tibetan masters, namely Geshe Lundrup Sopa in Madison, Wisconsin, who went under scientific thorough investigation where they hooked up everything to him. And when he did chanting and when he did meditation, when he did practice, his mind, his blood pressure all went down. And his heart rate became very calm. So if we can do that in a tragic situation, a difficult situation, we don't act out even more negatively from our tragedy. That is proven. So if we recite certain mantras, with the correct meditation, with the correct relaxation, you will see your blood pressure go down. There are mantras specifically to lower blood pressure. There are mantras for that, to lower blood pressure, because the sound of those mantras, the way they move your body, actually lowers down one's blood pressure. When one's blood pressure lowers down, what happens? No heart attack, less medical bills, less pain. There's a lot of benefits. Mantras work. Mantras work. So therefore, reciting mantras every single day, putting a candle in front of the Buddha and making some prayers, and then that is the extent of our spirituality? No. Putting a candle, putting some incense, and mindlessly reciting some mantras. Maybe during the time you recite mantras, you're calm. But after you finish your mantras, you go back to your monkey mind. Why do you go back to your monkey mind? Because the mantras and the prayers and the recitations is meant to calm you down and bring you to a certain level. That's where you study and you contemplate and you meditate. So when you receive Dharma teachings, when you're doing your recitations, that's when you think about it. You know what's a very good practice? Maybe some of you will accept this, some of you will not accept it. It doesn't matter. If it benefits you, you try it. In your life, people who were kind to you, what criticism did they give you? What did they say you were lacking in? Or what did they say hurt them about you? What did they say they find difficult about you? In your meditations, when you're doing your mantras, when you're connecting with the divine, you think about it carefully. If one person says it, ignore it. 2 people says it, 3, 4, 5, over and over, there must be some truth. And if it's not truth, that is the energy you are projecting. So in your meditations, you should sit carefully and think, What are these qualities that are not positive that people have mentioned to me? And meditate and contemplate. And look for examples, look for situations, look for scenarios. And when it comes to cross a difficult scenario, face it. Realize it. Overcome it and say, I'm not going to do this anymore. We have a culture of saying to people, don't judge me. You can't judge me. You know, if you think like that, then you're God. You're perfect. No one, saying you can't judge me is basically saying there's a lot to be judged. So you're making me feel guilty because there's something to feel guilty about. Because you have nothing to be guilty about, whatever they say. You don't feel it's a judgment because it's not you. I mean, you should see the things they say about me in the world. It's hard being famous. It's very hard being famous. They say things about me that I've done I never knew you can do. They said that I was with people that I didn't even know it existed. They existed. I'm accused of so many things. And 10, 15 years ago, it used to bother me. Now it bothers me this much. Last time it bothered me this much. Now it's this much. Maybe 10 years later it becomes this much. Or maybe it becomes this much again. I don't know. But right now it bothers me this much. My point, I know I didn't do it. And I'm all right. So therefore, when you accept religion, any religion, I want you to go one step further. Apply it, no matter how hard it is. In Buddhism, we have our gurus. In Christianity, you have the pastors. In Islam, you have the imams. In Hinduism, you have the beautiful swamis. And these are supposed to be, some of them, religious people who have studied, who have practiced, and who have transformed their minds to a higher level. Well, I'm supposed to be that. So when you accept a guru, you are going on the basis you have checked the guru out thoroughly. And you accept. So therefore, once you accept and you take refuge with the guru, he becomes your spiritual mentor. He becomes someone that helps you to find out how you can improve yourself. If you allow this person into your lives to help you to improve yourselves, you will improve. If you run away, if you avoid tasks, if you avoid responsibilities, if you avoid the person, or you justify and you don't do it, or you break your promises, then you don't let this person help you. That's assuming the person you're taking refuge with can help you. That's assuming. If you don't let this person help you, then why are you taking refuge? For someone like me, I don't enjoy giving refuge. I don't look forward to it. I don't like it. I don't think it's a big deal. And I don't feel like, wow, I got so many people taking refuge. I don't feel like that at all. You know what I look at? After refuge, how many people transform? And if after refuge people don't transform much, I don't like to give refuge. Why? It's just an empty ceremony. After you take refuge, you avoid your teacher. You don't do any assignments your teacher gives you. You don't push yourself. You make excuses, you cover. Why take refuge? They say, that's why I don't take refuge. What? You know what? That's not why you don't take refuge. You don't take refuge just because you're lazy. Because you're too selfish. Oh, that's why I'm not ready for refuge. No. Everybody is ready for refuge. What is refuge? To accept that you need to transform. Everybody is ready for refuge. Everyone is ready for refuge. There's no, I'm not ready for refuge. Because everybody is ready for transformation. Everybody is ready for change. Everybody is ready for betterment. Even if you're a wonderful person, there's still room to become even better. That's the purpose of life. So after you've taken refuge, your responsibility is this. Is you have the good karma, as I did, to be close to your spiritual teacher and to receive instructions from your spiritual teacher, as I did, to follow out all the way, as I did. And my spiritual teacher has passed away 25 years ago. I'm still following his instructions, although he's passed away. So after you take refuge, your responsibility is to take your teacher's instructions and follow it all the way with no excuses. Because the instructions of a teacher that's sincere can only be to transform you. The instructions of a teacher that is sincere can only be to transform you. So if you avoid that transformation, why did you take refuge? You know, people can take you to the church and dump you in some water and come out and say, oh, you know, I'm born again. I found God. I can come here and I can recite some mantras, throw some rice to you, say, oh, I found Buddha. But you know, water and rice, Buddhism, they use rice to bless you. In Christianity, they use water. But water and rice have no power to transform you or bring you to heaven. If I can bring everybody to heaven by throwing rice on you, this whole place would be like a wedding. All of you will go to heaven. You can take me into church, dump me in the water, come out and say, I believe in Jesus. I know I'm not going to go to heaven. Because if I go to heaven, I know the SS soldiers are there. They went to heaven too. I don't think heaven is so easy just by saying, I accept you and I go to heaven. And then I don't have to change, I don't have to transform. I can be a glutton, I can be a pig, I can be selfish, I can be totally evil. And as long as I accept you, I go to heaven. Where got religion degenerate so bad? Where can religion degenerate so bad? Now, if you look at someone, which I love to mention all the time, like Mother Teresa, I believe she's in heaven. If there's a heaven, the heaven that we think, I believe she is. Because she, although her faith in God waned and disappeared toward the end of her life, they wrote that in her, she wrote that in her biography. But her faith in humanity never waned. And that was very beautiful. It's the opposite with me. My faith in humanity wanes. My faith in Buddha does not. It's totally the opposite with me. That's why I tell you I'm not Mother Teresa. I'm Mother Sad. Now, after you've taken refuge, after you have accepted Buddha and the Dharma and the Sangha, what's your responsibility? Your responsibility is not the new name you got. Your responsibility is every time someone sees you, you've transformed even more. You've become better. You've become more compassionate. And in Kechara house, if you take refuge, then your service to others must increase. That is refuge. When we take refuge, we can express it in two ways, okay? Simple, and then I'm going to talk about stupas and I'm done. When we take refuge, we express it in two ways. Either we express it in meditative contemplation and practices to transform the mind, which is retreats, prayers, study, contemplation, retreat, prayer, contemplation, until our mind transforms, or action. Meaning you go out and you do something for others. No in between. Or a combination of both. To take refuge and still be sleepy, still don't want to push yourself for others, don't want to make an effort. All right, if you continue that way, then there has been no transformation. There has been no transformation whatsoever. All right, now, stupas. If everything goes through, we're going to build a stupa on our land. One of the many stupas to come up. Stupas come from the ancient Buddhist practice of building a reliquary or monument to something or someone that is enlightened, to preserve their enlightened energy in one place after they have passed away. Example, the historical Buddha, or one of the great saints, or one of the great masters, or one of the great teachers of the past, such as Arya Nagarjuna, Chandrakirti, Dharmakirti, Tsongkhapa, Atisha, Shariputra, Mugdalaya, many great saints in Buddhism, many great masters. So when one of these masters pass away, we can't see them anymore. We can't hear them anymore. So what we do is usually in Buddhism, we cremate them in the past. When we cremate them, many auspicious signs appear on their body, on their bones. In the case of my teacher, when they burned him, the letter A appears on his skull. A in Buddhism represents the power of speech. His eyes did not burn, his heart did not burn, although the fire was tremendous. And they preserved that. They took the heart out, they took the skull out, they took the eyes out. And they enshrined it. Along with the great master's robes, hair, bone, and sometimes from the masters, many pills come off. In Gandhin, there are many masters, when they die, thousands of small little pills come off from their stomach. Many. Many. And if you take these pills, you get a sense of peace and healing. This is normal in Buddhism. Now, when a great master or a great being passes away, you enshrine their holy remains in a stupa. Or, if a holy being did some extra wonderful activity in a certain place, we can mark that place with a stupa. There are 8 main types of stupas, 8 main shapes that are acceptable, that are by tradition. And these 8 shapes represent the steps to enlightenment. Basically, Lamrim. The measurements, the height, the formation, the levels, all represent an aspect of enlightenment. So if we understand the Buddha's teachings, we look at the stupa is actually a visual teaching of the Buddha's complete teachings to enlightenment. That's a stupa. So stupas are to mark a place where a very holy event has happened. Example, the place where Buddha was born. There's a beautiful stupa there in Nepal. The place where Buddha manifested enlightenment, Bodh Gaya, which is a place where millions every year go for pilgrimage to today. That's one night's train ride from New Delhi. Very famous, Bodh Gaya. Have a stupa. The stupa in India was built by the Dharma king, Dharmaraja Ashoka, the very famous historical king Ashoka. It marks the place where Buddha gained enlightenment. So similarly, if a holy being passes away, we build a stupa to mark the place. Why? Because the holy being is not there for us to go and make offerings or to see or to show respect. So the stupa takes that place. Stupas can be related to a deity, can be related to a lama, can be related to a guru, can be related to a Buddha. It doesn't matter. Now, when you build a stupa, you have to consecrate the land with a fire puja. The fire puja will settle down the negative elements, the negative energy in that area, and open up that place. It becomes a portal for blessings, P-O-R-T-A-L. When a fire puja is done, depending on the place, some places are very wrathful. If it's a cemetery, you have to do more. Now, you do a fire puja there, then you have special measurements. The monks have to be trained for this. I'm getting monks in Gandhin trained as we're speaking. When they come, they will be fully trained by the older monks. You don't just go there, stick some holy things inside, build a mountain, hello, stupa. No, not so easy. Okay? So once the measurements are done, once the blessing of the land is done with the fire puja where the stupa is going to be built, then on an auspicious date, at an auspicious time, you have to dig. Then you draw a mandala of whatever deity you're going to do. After you draw the mandala, then you start filling it with very holy items. Example, wealth vases, clothes, mantras. What we intend to build is a stupa of Vajrayogini. So inside we'll have billions and billions and billions of images of Vajrayogini inside. Both high-tech, which is in hard disks, also as in statues, in tatas, in paintings, and pictures. And everybody can contribute towards that. It's wonderful. Along with that, I have very holy relics of Songrimchi, of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, of Trijang Rinpoche, of Pabongka Rinpoche, of Droma Geshe Rinpoche. I have very holy items that I'll put inside. On top of that, I'll put many sutras. Many lamrin, many and many of these holy items. Medicine Buddha texts, you name it, Vajrayogini texts, commentaries, biographies of High Lamas, they'll all be put inside. What will be put inside is body, speech, and mind, and wealth. And then, if I can get more reliquaries or holy items from High Lamas, hair, clothes, nails, we'll put it inside also. And then we seal it. Once it's sealed by puja, usually a Yamantaka puja. In this case, it will be a Vajrayogini puja. It's sealed, it's done, it's made weatherproof. So what happens is, the whole area, the whole environment will calm down. Even the ghosts and the datos, datos meaning the land gods, will come down. And even the animals in that area will be blessed. It is believed that the animals in that area will die in the future and take good rebirth. And all of those people who take circumambulation around this image will purify the negative karma, particularly from the body. So if you've done some naughty things with your body, it will be purified. And on top of that, whatever deity it's connected with, in this case Vajrayogini, when you circumambulate around the stupa, you will create a very powerful and strong affinity and bond with this deity. So in the future, if you have the fortune, when your Lama gives you this initiation and practice, when you practice it, you'll be quicker than other people. You'll understand it faster, you'll absorb it faster, you'll know it faster. Every single day in Ganden Monastery, we have a stupa of His Holiness Trijang Dorje Chang, Trijang Rinpoche, and His Holiness Kechara Rinpoche. And every single night, all the monks, all the old monks, circumambulate around the stupa. I have done that in Ganden for that very reason. I'm going to go one extra step. And this is permissible. It's not something I have made up. Is there some pet you love? Is there some pet that you have loved and has passed away? Do you love your mother? Do you love your father? Do you love someone that's helped you? Do you love an aunt? Do you love your children? Do you love a grandmother, a grandfather? Do you have someone that you loved who has passed away or is living? If you do, you can give me their nails and their hair, either one, not their bones. I'm not opening up Happy Cemetery here. I don't want any bones unless it's from animals. By the way, for people listening overseas, which you're going to see this, don't send me bones of your grandmother. Don't go to the graveyard, dig her out, and give me her bones to put in my stupa. I don't want to be arrested. You can send hair and nails. There's nothing illegal about that, is there? No. You don't send me a chunk of their finger. Here, put that in. No. Okay, so let me make this clear. Do not send me the bones of living or dead people. So you don't go to your husband because he gets on your nerves, chop off his finger, say, for the stupa. Okay, the bones and the body of living or dead people, you don't give me. I only accept nail and hair of living or dead people. Let me repeat this because I've got very intelligent people in the group. You know how when you write something on the blog, they immediately ask you, oh, is it a Vajrayogini stupa? You're like, okay, never mind. So people who have passed away that you love, and people who are living that you love, you can get their hair, you can get their nail. That's one. Animals. Animals who have passed away. I will accept their bones, but don't mail it to me. Again, because when it comes to customs, they're going to ask what kind of bone is that. I said, it's a dog bone. Then it goes for checks, I don't know what. In confiscation, we'll never get it. Hair and nails is the safest, unless the animal is in the country and it has passed away, you have a little bit of bones. For example, last year, one little doggy called Russell passed away. I have his bones. This will be put inside. And I have 3 beautiful little dogs that I love a lot. I cut off the hair and I will save it. You can even cut off your own hair. Wash your hair first. Don't send me hair that's oily with a lot of dandruff. Wash your hair first, if you have hair. If some of you don't have hair, don't pluck it from here. And don't pluck it from anywhere else. Send me nails if you don't have hair. If you don't have nails and you don't have hair, give me your picture. Let me repeat. Only washed hair from your head. I don't need you to pluck out a whole clump. And if you're balding, you don't have much hair like Pastor Ngao, just give me your nails. So from humans, only hair and nails. And I don't need you to cut your toenails, this nail, that nail, and then you send me 1 kg of nails. Just a little bit. Let's not get morbid. Clean the nails before you cut, because we're going to put it inside a stupa, okay? Clean your nails. I'm not making a witch's brew. Can you give me the hair and nail without the person knowing? That's up to you. Okay, that's up to you. That's not for me to say. Because if you have a mama with respect who's in a senile age home, she doesn't know much, but you know she wouldn't mind, you give from her, it's fine. Okay, but I don't want you to, just grab it and assume either. So that's up to your discretion. Now, when I get the hair and nails, worst case scenario, it can be a personal item of the person if you don't have hair and nails. Example, it could be a simpler bracelet. Okay, it could be like a wooden bracelet, aluminum bracelet. It could be a simple ring. It could be a cutting of a piece of clothing, like a t-shirt, and cut a little bit. No underwear and socks. No brasiers and bras. No girdles. Okay, just t-shirts. Everything waist up. Waist down, don't want. Hair or clothes. Just cut a little piece. You don't have to send me the tuxedo, just a little piece. You don't have to send me your grandmother's wedding dress to stuff that in the stupa. If I put everybody's wedding dress, I'll have to build a stupa the high as the Twin Towers. Just a little piece. Worst case scenario, do I have to be a Buddhist to put this in? No. Blessings are for everyone. That's the beautiful thing in Buddhism. You don't have to be Buddhist to be blessed. You just have to be sincere and a human being, or a person who's sincere. The Buddha blesses everyone. Oh, you're not Buddhist, Buddha don't bless you, he only bless them. You're not Buddhist, you don't go to heaven, they go to hell. No, no such thing. If people tell me that, I tell them, you know what? If you're in heaven, I'd rather not, thanks. I know that's not very monkly of me, but what can I do? I didn't say I'm a Buddha. Now, when I get the hair and the nail, or a picture, this is what I do. I do a special puja called rucho. A rucho, you like the way I roll my R's? Rucho. Yes, you Chinese cannot roll your R's, what? Chinese are the rucho. We Tibetans can roll our R's. What's the big deal? I don't know. Anyways, a rucho puja, which is done in the tradition of Vajrayana Tantra, is to clean, purify, dissolve, transform those items into Vajrayanis. So by the power of the Lama's meditation, those objects will be transformed into Vajrayanis, small Vajrayanis. And then they're permissible to put inside a stupa. So your hair, your loved one's hair and nails, when they're put inside a stupa, for as long as the stupa exists, for as long as people worship and get benefit from the stupa, the benefit will come to you. Okay? So if you give your hair and you say, in this life, I've been a very naughty womanizer. And I've hurt my wife, I've hurt my kids, and I've hurt so many people with my horrible womanizing. I will not do it again. May my negative karma be purified, I regret. You don't have to write why. I don't want to hear your sad stories. I don't want to know all your sad stories. I got enough sad stories myself. Then, when I do the ritual, and it's put in conjoined with you not doing that anymore, you will be purified. Why? When it's there, your item is blessing other people. By the power of blessing other people, the merits come back to you, which empowers you to keep your promise. I repeat, when you put those things inside, it creates an object for other people to worship and to gain merits. And the merits go back to you, which empowers you to hold your vows. I will not cheat people anymore. I will be patient. I will do more Dharma work. I will not hurt people anymore. I will not lie anymore. Whatever your wishes. If you put it inside, it's very much power. Who will take these items? My POs. PO is private office. I got 5 people who do my correspondences, who do my work. 5 young people who decided going out to parties, drinking, eating, and making money was not enough. And these 5 young people also reflect how their parents has raised them very well. We are our parents. And also these 5 young people also show me how much they love their parents, because when they do Dharma work, the merits partly go back to their parents. So if we love our parents, that's what we can do. If we don't love our parents, just eat, drink, have a good time, have relationships, get old and die. So the POs will be collecting that. How they will collect, it's already on my blog site. I've already put an article called Rucho. Who have seen that article, raise your hand. Oh, the rest of you will not know how. So on my blog site, you will see an article on the homepage that says Rucho. Open that one up and read. I've had Paris do a nice write-up for me on that, and I've already posted it, and I've checked it, the writing is correct. So what the stupa is, how to do a Rucho, and what we put inside. Why am I doing this? Honestly speaking, with no offense intended, because many of you will not practice Dharma sincerely. So it's just to collect a little merit before you go to your next destination, which may not be pleasant. So just a little bit of merit for some of you. That's my intention. Now, this stupa is called the Vajrayogini stupa. It will contain everything related to the deity Vajrayogini. It will contain holy objects of high lamas. It will contain beautiful script and text and images of Vajrayogini, because I want the land to be blessed by this deity Vajrayogini. All right? So if any of you want to be involved with that, that's fine. And in the future, when we actually do the stupa work, I'm going to set up a stupa committee. That will be a group of people. We'll have 2 tiers who will help with the logistics. When the monks come, they're going to need transport. They're going to need food. They're going to need interpreters. Okay, they speak Chinese. They will need supplies. They will need to dig the ground. They need to prepare for pujas. They need to get mortar. They need to get bricks. They need to get cement. They need to get hard disks. They need to have computer work done to transfer the images and hard disks. We need to label everything. We need to make it waterproof, and we need to make it weatherproof. And we need to do rituals to seal it, again, set up puja space. So we're going to need a committee to do the whole stupa. And I will pick out a group of people who wishes to engage in this incredibly meritorious act of building a stupa, the first stupa in our organization. And how will I pick the people? People who are consistent, people who always commit, people I always see around, people who are easy with their schedule, people who are easy with their timing, people who really want to do it. Not people who are fly-by-nights, make up excuses, cannot this, cannot that, restricted, limited, make time limits on them. No, no. If you always make yourself difficult to get to, then people leave you alone. It's not they don't like you, they just leave you alone. So I will form this committee, and this committee will do a special set of prayers and motivations, and they will start this project. I assume this project will take about, I'm not talking about the inside of the stupa itself may be about a month and a half. Because every step is consecrated. And you have the honor and the pleasure to work with very qualified monks from Gondin Shatse Monastery. One of the monks I'm bringing here is His Holiness Kechara Saramji's own debate partner. Saramji now is 26, 27 years old, the reincarnation. He's come out to be a veritable scholar, a great scholar. He's a master in debates, recognized by His Holiness already. So his own debate partner is the one that he studies with every night. He's a very qualified monk who's very gentle and very sweet and very simple, but extremely knowledgeable. Will be coming here to lead the the stupa committee. I talked to him last week. I called him. I already told him. He will become a PhD in Buddhism in 2 years' time. He will get his degree, PhD full. This will be given to him by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. I got my PhD too. Paris gave it to me. Her Holiness Paris gave me my PhD. And His Holiness David confirmed it. Yep. And Geshe Yi said it's the real McCoy. And Geshe Pastor Ngao debated with me, and I'm really a scholar. See, I passed. Anyways, this monk is going to come here with a few other monks. How many monks, I'm not sure, but at least another 1 to 2 to do this whole thing. So we need a group of people that will buy supplies. We need a group of people who will do the physical work. Imagine if you can actually do the physical work of building the stupa. It's just like what Milarepa did. Imagine if you can be involved in Chamang land to move the mortars and bricks, to help them, to water it, to watch over it. Oh my goodness. Imagine if you can do that. Well, I'm not going to give that honor to just anyone. I'm going to see who is committed. Why? Because I need this to finish. You know, if you get wishy-washy people, if you get wishy-washy people in to do it right, you know what happens? It might not finish. If you get wishy-washy people to do it, what happens? The stupa become wishy-washy. If you get people who usually make problems, you know, halfway through they can't finish, the stupa finish halfway, cannot finish. So if you get people who usually is never available, they're only available for special projects because they want special merits. Everything else not available, they're not going to be available because the whole stupa project is special. So this is a very good way for you. Now, if you have people who are very ill, the stupa is very powerful for extending their lives. If you have people, and I say this with respect, who are very naughty, make sure you get their hair or nail in the stupa. It will purify a lot of karma. Instead of looking at them as your enemy, look at them in the eyes of compassion. How to help them. How to benefit them, even without them knowing. That's what Buddhism is about. Now, the stupa project is the Vajrayogini stupa project. I will have qualified monks come here to guide us, to help us. And we're going to finish it. That's if the land deal goes through. And I will have a medicine Buddha stupa. I will also most likely have a Manjushri stupa. Why a Manjushri stupa? So all of you can become smart. Very smart. Intelligence means to let go of your false preconceptions of what makes you happy. And that's what I mean by smart. So most likely, eventually, I'll have a Manjushri stupa, a medicine Buddha stupa, and the first one will be Vajrayogini. Why the first one Vajrayogini? Because those of you who are very lucky will practice Vajrayogini in the future. Simple as that. And I'm making that connection now. So, for purifying your karma, for helping you to take a good rebirth, for creating affinity with the 3 jewels, VIA Vajrayogini, and to give blessings to those of people or beings or animals you love. You can put them inside. Anywhere in the world. Remember, all our videos now go international all over the world, so I have to speak for everyone, not for people just here. And I will form, again, I repeat, a committee. I will form a special committee to have people help me from A to Z. Sounds very exciting, doesn't it? Some of you can go shopping for the monks to set up puja. Some of you can drive the monks. Imagine that. Imagine having the monks all to yourself to ask all your intelligent questions. All to yourself. Tibetan scholar monks, all in your car. You get to drive in your control and power. And you can get all kinds of little things from them. You can be part of the setup group, means people who are actually on the land to set up for the pujas. There's going to be a lot of powerful pujas. And if some of you are smart, some of you will be recording the event so that we can do it ourselves. Some of you can have the honor, if you feel you can't set up for pujas or you're too fat and old to deliver things, well, you can be on the committee to help raise funds for the puja. That's even very meritorious too. Okay? Some of you can be on the actual land to help with the moving of the items and the building of the items, because we can't leave it to the contractors. We cannot. Can we put other religions' items inside? Why not? Why not? Any religion that tells you another religion is not good, the person telling you is insecure. Is not the religion. The person telling you is insecure. So you can put anything inside. So if you had a special crucifix from a grandmother, you don't know what to do with it, you want her to be blessed, you can put it inside. Trust me, Vajrayogini and Jesus Christ are very good friends. Very good friends. They have lunch and tea every day. If they don't, we don't need to pray. That will be our stupa project. So, that's what I wanted to explain. The last thing I want to do is give refuge, and then I'm done. Some of you have flown in from other countries. Some of you have driven in from faraway places. It shows that you have made an effort for your spiritual practice. And I'm happy for you. This is the first step. It's not the end. It's the first step. When you take refuge, you visualize your teacher as an enlightened, awakened being. You can visualize your teacher as any enlightened, awakened being. It doesn't really matter. As Lama Yeshe used to say, if you have more connection to Jesus, think of your teacher as Jesus. Think of your teacher as Buddha. It doesn't really matter. That's what Lama Yeshe used to say, and I agree. Now, in this case, you visualize your teacher as Buddha Shakyamuni. Sometimes you can do Tsongkhapa. It depends on my mood. You visualize your teacher as Shakyamuni, golden skinned, tall, with arms like waterfalls, long limbs, very straight, Shangbo, with the 112 marks of a superhuman, such as the Dharma chakras on the hands, from speaking about the Dharma. So it's the Dharma chakra on the feet, such as when the Buddha walks, the feet never touches the ground, but there's an imprint still. That's one of the qualities of an enlightened being. His hands are wet with light. It's wet from light because the Buddha, for aeons, have never spoken untruth. He has copper-colored fingernails, not because he went to the salon. It is a manifestation of enlightenment. He has very long ears from listening patiently to the problems and difficulties and sufferings of others. He has extra tsuktor. Tsuktor means an extension of the head. Not because he's an alien. It's a manifestation of an enlightened quality of having omniscience. His body is peaceful. His limbs are long. His voice is commanding and very powerful. You can be very far in the back. You can be in the front. You will hear the sound exactly the same. You will hear the power of the Buddha's speech, whatever language, whatever capacity you are in. If you're very intelligent, you will hear it in the language and in the example you hear that suits you. If you're not so intelligent, you'll hear it in your language, although he speaks once. The Buddha has complete omniscience, knowing the past, present, and future without any obstructions whatsoever. If we take refuge in such a being, and we follow the teachings of such a being, then we will never fall to the three lower realms in this life and future lives. If we take refuge in such a being and we follow, the key is follow the teachings. We take refuge in our own potential. We take refuge in the Buddha inside of us to become one. To become a Buddha, we must study, we must practice, we must engage in selfless acts. By engaging in selfless acts, we destroy selfishness, which is the opposite of a Buddha. No Buddhas are selfish. There is no such thing as a selfish Buddha. So therefore, if you are selfish, you can never become a Buddha or leave unhappiness behind. Very simple formula. If you're selfish, expect to always be unhappy. Always. Now, when you take refuge in such a being, it means enlightenment does exist, enlightenment can exist. Since enlightenment can exist, enlightenment is manifested in the Dharma. The Dharma is the 84,000 teachings that the Buddha has given us. Why 84,000? To suit the different types of mentalities. Not one teaching suits everyone. So the 84,000 mentalities, the Buddha has compassionately giving 84,000 teachings. We take refuge in the teachings. More than the Buddha, we take refuge in the teachings. More than a savior, we practice. Who will save us? We will save us. Does that mean we don't need an enlightened being? It doesn't mean we need or don't need. It just means that enlightened beings can't help us if we don't do anything ourselves. So therefore, when we practice the Dharma, what you need to see is this when you practice the Dharma. Transformation of your mind. Since you've taken refuge until now, how much more have you done for others? How much less for yourself? If it's more for others and less for yourself, your refuge has taken effect. If you're exactly the same or degenerated or went backwards, it's very bad. Some of us do protector practices. Some of us pray to Yamataka and Hiruka and all these great beings. But let me tell you something. These great practices were given to you by your teacher. If you don't have a teacher, you will never have these practices to help you through your problems. So if you are indebted to your protector, example Setrap or whatever, you're indebted to your Yidam, but you're not indebted to your Lama, then the blessings will be half. Why? You cannot have received these practices if your teacher didn't practice it. If your teacher didn't practice it and didn't give it to you, you wouldn't have it to alleviate your problems. So you have tremendous respect for your teacher, tremendous faith. Hence, in Mahayana Refuge, we say Namo Guru Be. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Guru Be, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Guru Be, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. In Mahayana Refuge, which is prevalent in China, Japan, Korea, Tibet, Nepal, Mongolia, Russia. In Russia last time, Buddhism very big, before the communists take over. When you take refuge in your Guru first. Why? You cannot speak to the Buddha. You cannot see the Buddha. The Buddha doesn't talk to you. If the Buddha statue talks to you, please see a psychiatrist. If Kuan Yin is talking to you, get help. If Kuan Yin is taking trance of you, take some medication. Don't see me. If Kuan Yin is giving you messages, if Kuan Yin doesn't give the Dalai Lama messages, if the Kuan Yin doesn't give High Lama's messages, why the Kuan Yin give messages to you unless you want some attention or money? Doesn't make sense to me. You know, I get all types of strange people come to me and say, they put their hands over a Dharma text or a mala and they go, I can feel the energy. Yeah, you feel the energy when I slap you. They always tell me, I can feel the energy. And sometimes I'm not nice. I actually go, I can feel the energy from you too. They say, what's that? I say, you're weird. I'm not into all that. You can feel the energies, you can see Kuan Yin, you can channel, you can see the Buddhas, oh my God, Manjushri talks to you. I'm not into all that stuff. You know why I'm not into all that stuff? Who can prove it? Who can prove it? I've been praying to Manjushri for the last 30 years, and hello, I've never heard him talk to me once. It doesn't mean he doesn't exist, it just means I'm not doing something right yet. I've never heard the Dalai Lama even say once, oh, Kuan Yin talks to me, Manjushri talks to me. Never. My point? I'm not into all these mystical things. So if you want to tell me you can feel the energies, you can tell people's previous life, you have psychic powers, you can feel some kind of magic coming, or you sense something, you found the wrong Lama. You know what I like? I like logic, I like wisdom. I like study, I like application. I don't deny there's magic. I don't deny there's black magic. I don't deny there's ghosts and spirits. I don't deny there are. I've seen genuine cases. But not everybody who has a problem is because of a ghost. Not everyone who has a problem is because of a ghost. That is like 0.0001%. Most of us have problems because we made the problems. We made the problems. Does that mean ghosts don't exist? Of course ghosts exist. A Christian who says ghost doesn't exist, they contradict themselves. What about the Holy Ghost? A Buddhist who say that ghost doesn't exist, they contradict themselves. What about the realm of the pretas? Buddha described clearly how they exist. Ghosts exist. Ghosts are around. Ghosts follow some of you. Ghosts hang out in some of your houses. Yeah, some of your houses have ghosts in the house. And you know where that ghost is? When you look in the mirror. Yeah, ghosts exist, spirits exist, hantus exist, scary things like that, they exist. They are there. But you know what? If you're a good person and you practice and you do compassion, they can't harm you. There are exceptional cases. Ghosts exist, black magic, spirits, voodoo, whatever you want, voodoo, whatever. All of that exists. Bomos, they have powers. They do. There is such a thing, but your problems don't always arise from that. We try to go on a logical basis. Okay, I don't go for the my American upbringing is everything scientific. That I also reject. Because you know what? The last time I looked, scientists are just like me, humans who make mistakes, and they don't know everything. So this Western kind of thinking that, oh, it has to be scientifically proven. No, I don't agree. Prove God. Prove compassion. Prove the soul. Nothing you can measure. Oh, there's EVP, that counts. So therefore, if you're going to enter Dharma, you know what you should do? Remember the golden formula. Whatever you do will come back to you. And whatever you do, you think is good, make sure it is good. Because when you don't study the Dharma, you don't have something to give you knowledge to judge whether it's good or not. So if you simply think it's good, and you don't want to hear more, and you don't know more, and you think it's good, maybe it wasn't good. That's why to join Dharma classes, to be involved, to read is important. Why? The more knowledge you have, you will know it's good or not. Last time, hundreds of years ago, when people had epilepsy, it was a sign of a great person. It was a sign of a person who's going to be a leader. Now we find out it's just a medical problem. And some have medications, some don't. Yes, Alexander the Great. I don't know what's so great about him. He killed thousands of people. Alexander the Great had epilepsy. That's an Angelina Jolie's movie theory. I don't know if it's real or not. I don't know how many of you saw that. I did. If you have epilepsy, it is a sign of a great person, of a leader. Well, that's last time. Now we say no, it's just a medical problem. Okay, so my point, I also don't go on the other extreme where I'm raised in the United States, where everything, it has to be scientifically proven. It's BS. Why is it BS? Because scientists can't prove everything. And then everything is on the mystical side. Magic, demons and spirits and ghosts and the devil and the Satan, and they're all trying to get you. And there's a war. There's a demonic war. We're all going to end in 2012. I'll be here in 2013, okay? On 2013, I'll be the first one on you saying, I'm still here. I don't believe in all of that stuff. What I believe in is this. Is developing my mind to the level where I can work for others consistently without feeling I've lost my freedom. I believe that a lot of pain that I went through growing up, I would like to overcome so that I don't bring that pain to other people. I would like to be non-judgmental, and I would like to be more forgiving. Oh God, I need that. Please bless me. I need to be more forgiving. And I need to have more courage. I would like to have those qualities. And that's why I'm a Buddhist monk, and that's why I'm a Buddhist, and that's why I practice Buddhism. To develop those qualities. And there are some perks too. Example, they give you a lot of food. They give you nice cars. Because, you know, when they offer to you, they collect merit, they think. Let them think what they want. They build you nice temples. Then you get a crowd, a room full of bored, obnoxious, lonely people who will listen to you banter on and on. Those are the perks. Seriously speaking, that's what I would like for my spiritual practice. That's what I would like for all of you. After you have taken refuge, this is my first instruction to you, if I may. Every day, you should immediately do refuge, the Guru Yoga Lama Tsongkhapa. Miksema, 21 times. After Miksema, dissolve, and then do the praise to Manjushri. Once, and do Manjushri's mantra. 1 round, 2 round, 3 round. At the end of the round, do DDD on 1 mala. How do you do on 1 mala? Oh. You don't need 2 malas for this. You just need 1. Okay, you don't go Omarabazana D, Omarabazana D, Omarabazana D. Just 1 mala. Okay, this is not a show, a mala show. D, Oma, Oma. Okay, then Omarabazana D, Omarabazana D, Omarabazana. Then you finish right. Omarabazana D, Omarabazana D, Omarabazana D, Omarabazana D, Omarabazana D, 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 D. Just use the same mala. And when you finish Om Adabasa Na Di, you recite the last mantra strongly. The last mantra, Di, is a very powerful syllable that will fight depression, that will fight loneliness, that will unblock blocked cheese. It's very powerful. Chinese have a very powerful medical system of qi, and scientists cannot prove it, but it works. I believe in 100%. So when you recite Om Adabasa Na Di, Om Adabasa Na Di, Om Adabasa Na Di, Om Adabasa Na Di, concentrate and focus and be very honest. Concentrate and focus, don't be distracted, turn off your phones. Turn off your phones and concentrate and focus, Om Adabasa Na Di, and pronounce the word correctly. If you're around people, quietly, if no one's around, recite it that you can hear it yourself. Om Adabasa Na Di, Om Adabasa Na Di, Om Adabasa Na Di, Om Adabasa Na Di, Om Adabasa. It's very important you can hear it yourself. Om Adabasa Na Di, Om Adabasa Na Di, Om Adabasa Na Di, Om Adabasa Na Di, Om Adabasa Na Di. Okay, I'm going to use this one. That mala is too heavy. Om Adabasa Na Di, Om Adabasa. You go one round, so Om Adabasa Na Di, Om Adabasa. This is one round. When you hit this, it's one round. Next round, Om Adabasa Na Di, Om Adabasa Na Di, Om Adabasa Na Di. Okay, let's say that I'm super fast. Om Adabasa Na Di, Om Adabasa Na Di, Om Adabasa Na Di, Om Adabasa Na Di. Next round. So every day do 3 rounds. 3 rounds means 3 times, okay? After you finish the 3rd round, you recite DDD on one breath. Train yourself. In the beginning, you're going to be out of breath. Okay, so you do it. Om Adabasa Na. Concentrate and focus. Okay, if you cannot, take another breath. You don't go. And then, no. And then you die. You don't do that. You train yourself. When you train yourself to do DDD in one breath over time, you will feel a sense of calmness. You will find your mind calming down. You will see your intelligence. Especially, you will see your memory improve. I promise you. In North India, I stayed in a retreat of doing 1 million of this. Actually, 700,000. It took me 1 month. Every day, 14 hours of meditation. I did it in my guru's house. Very intense. So what happens is this. Every day, you do a minimum of 3 rounds, and then 1 round of DDD for the newbies. People taking refuge. If you want to do more, you can do more. In the future, if you're very fortunate and lucky, if I'm in a very good mood and the POs work hard and don't disappoint me, I'll give initiations. If the POs disappoint me and don't work hard, no initiations. That's it. Guilt trips are very good, especially when they're done with compassion. Now, I have a young boy. I can never get his name right, so I just call him Hercules. Hercules, something, herpes or whatever. I've never heard of the name, so I get mixed up. Anyways, Hercules Tan, he's 15. He does Manjushri retreats when he's off from school. 100,000. Janai, Jimei, they do a Manjushri retreat for many years now, once a year. After you finish that, then you do a Setup Setkim. Black tea to Setup, then you're done for the day. That's your sadhana every day. Rain or shine, depressed or up or down, feeling good, not feeling good, busy or not busy, traveling or not, hotel, outside, wherever you are, do your Setra black tea every day. Why? It will help you to alleviate a lot of obstacles. Where do the obstacles come from? Yourself. And the minute you want to do something good, more obstacles come. Now, whenever you want to do good things, and you trust me, they say, how come I recite mantra, I do sutra, I meditate, I pray, all these problems come. Is that good or bad? You tell them good, they don't believe you. You tell them bad, they don't believe you. How come I pray got better? How come I pray don't got good thing? Because your idea of religion is wrong. That's why. How to say that on chat? Every day I'm on chat. My blog site has a chat at the bottom. I chat with people. I chat with people who put their real names. I don't chat with people who got weird names that won't identify themselves because I don't know who you is. So I don't talk to people who I don't know who you are on chat because I don't want to make a connection and then you save it and you go to the police and say I'm harassing you. I'm from America, so I'm paranoid. Okay, I chat with people who put their real names. They don't put their real name. I use my psychic powers and I find out it's not you, I don't talk to you. My non-existent psychic power. And for those of you on chat who write 1 or 2 words with a lot of misspellings, I will embarrass you. And for those of you who are not on chat, it means you don't support me. Yeah, you don't support me. Every day cannot drop by and say hello. It means you don't support me. Simple as that. If you don't support me when you need help. When you need help, let me see what mood I'm in. And you can verify with the POs I've got my moods. Oh yes. So if you're not on my chat, if you're not on my blog, if you're not reading my articles, it means you don't support me. You don't like me. You don't agree with me, with what I'm doing. What else could it be? I mean, you're on Facebook. Why don't you be on Tsem book? That's right. And I watch every day. What you discuss, what you talk about. Why? I'm going to increase it. I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to make it a platform for people to share, to learn. Oh, I will. Lou is going to set all that up for me when he's finished with his other 65 projects. Yeah. And some of you come on chat, you don't come, go, whatever. But I watch. And I see people less and less because there's too many people to see, but I'll see them on chat. You say, oh, I don't know how to do a computer. I'm 500 years old. Sorry. Get your daughter to do it for you. That's what one old bat did. Oh, never mind. Okay, so this is Refuge. And then we're done. Look, he's going to support me out. Watch. Thank you. In a monastery, some of these lamas are huge and they're very old. And really, you know, you got this teeny little skinny monk, they're like, here, I help you. The monk's like, really? I've seen that in the monastery. I find it quite funny. All these huge lamas, their assistants are, you know, like Ben Kui. So I always said, if I'm ever in that situation where they're helping me up a throne, because I never knew I'd sit on the throne, I'm going to torture the little assistant. I'm going to press as hard as I can and see if they can support me, like what Setrap did. Okay. The 2 things I want to talk about today, and then I'm done, because I want to keep you guys too late, is about the choice, which I talked about. And what's the choice? To go into your spiritual practice and to realize that what I'm telling you will help you. To go all the way with it and don't waste any more time. To look back in your lives and ask yourself honestly what you have achieved. If it's nothing, nothing much, nothing to look at, it's not necessarily you're bad or you're good. I'm not being judgmental. It just means that maybe you need to put in more effort now. But remember, the method you engage in the future must work. It cannot be just a switcheroo of a different hat, but it's the same attitude under the hat. The second thing I want to talk about is the benefits and the power of stupas and how all of you can be involved. If you want a recap of that, this teaching will be on a blog chat, and on the blog post, and also I already have an article up. Okay, it's called Rucho. Okay, so that is for your benefit. Now, for the people taking refuge, for the people taking re-refuge, the people who are not taking refuge, just remain quietly. It's very fast and very quick. For the people taking refuge, please think. I have found a spiritual teacher who may not be perfect, but who can communicate to me and to my heart. I found a spiritual mentor who can convey the Dharma to me through modern means, to multimedia, through YouTube or whatnot. that shares a message with me in a language to me that I can understand, that I can comprehend, and that I can eventually accept, or something that I can debate with, say, yeah, it's okay. The key word is debate with. I have found a spiritual teacher who can take Buddha's ancient teachings and put it into modern words that will touch my heart, touch my soul, touch my being, and perhaps create a change in me. I have found such a teacher. And the teacher is not telling me he's God, or he's supreme, or he's divine. He's just telling me that he has beautiful knowledge to share. The key word is to share. Not to indoctrinate, but to share. Now, I have found this teacher, and it's rare to come across a teacher according to the scriptures. It is rare to come across a teacher that we can connect with, that has compassion and love, that has great knowledge, and that can speak in a language that I can understand. It's very rare to come across such a teacher. Now, why would I give such a teacher up? Why would I chase teachers that only do rituals, that cannot speak my language, that I cannot understand, that just gives a blessing and goes away and I get nothing from it? I've come across a teacher who can communicate with me, who can bring the holy Dharma into everyday life, into my mind. And a teacher that can move my mind, that can give me knowledge. A teacher who can share the vast compendium of wisdom taught 2,500 years ago, today in 2012 to me. How fortunate I am to find such a teacher. And this teacher, for the moment, I seek refuge from, to bless my body and bless my speech and bless my mind. That from today on, I become a Dharma practitioner. I am a Buddhist. I'm a born-again Buddhist. And what does it mean to be born again, or to be renewed, or to be blessed? What does it mean? It means you make a commitment to yourself, to the Buddha, to the Dharma, to the Sangha. That you will lessen selfishness. That's your commitment. The whole purpose of Refuge is to lessen selfishness. And that we will forgive, and we will take on more burdens of others. And we will not be lazy and inefficient in our work so that other people has to cover for us. That we will work harder to cover for them. That we will sacrifice for them. That we will infringe upon our own comfort, time, and space in order to benefit others, like my many teachers do. The only reason we respect a teacher is because our teachers infringe upon their time, their energy, and their life for us. I'm inspired by such actions. And by taking refuge, I promise to let go of myself and to be more concerned for others. And to not just say I'm more concerned for others, but actually be more concerned and act more concerned and do more concerned. I'm going to do that. So after I take refuge, I am a Buddhist. And I'm happy to say I'm a Buddhist. And I'm proud to say I'm Buddhist. And there's no embarrassment to be a Buddhist. Because a Buddhist means you're connecting with the Buddha inside of you. And I will follow the Dharma all the way. I will not steal in any way, shape, or form. I will not deceive. I will not lie. Because when I lie, it creates a lack of integrity. When there's a lack of integrity, there's disharmony. When there's disharmony, I create unhappiness in the environment. I will not lie. I will have great integrity. What's the point of taking refuge? And the next day I'm exactly the same. The transformation is not a God in the sky coming to inhabit and bless you. The transformation is the God inside of you opens up and you become a God. And gods don't lie and steal and play tricks and are lazy and don't care about others and are selfish and are self-absorbed. There's no such God. So if you want to open up the Buddha inside of you, you have to start acting like that Buddha you wish to open up. You cannot act the opposite. I will not lie. I will not steal. I will not cheat on my partners. No, we should never cheat on our partners. in any way, shape, or form. I will not kill. I will not kill. I will not order someone else to kill. I will not do any harm. For this I will take refuge. For that is the truth. The truth is not to harm others brings happiness and peace. That is the truth. And I take refuge in that. I will study the Lamrim. I will study the 50 verses of Guru devotion. I will study the Wheel of Sharp Weapons, the 3 principal paths, and the 8 verses of thought transformation. I will finish my 4 preliminary retreats, the basics, water offering, etc. And I will live and practice and generate Dharma mind in me. Although my friends around me may not be Dharma, it does not matter. Their lack of Dharma will inspire me to be even more Dharmic. Why? To see someone sick is to say, I will take care of my health. To see someone sick, you shouldn't be demotivated, say, what's the point? I don't take care of my health. So to see suffering, you're motivated. So therefore, when I take refuge, I am motivated to help others even more. I will put aside most of my selfish pursuits to benefit others. I will think like that. Then, you should not think this is an ordinary place. You should think we're in the land of India, in a holy place called Bodh Gaya. You should think your teacher has taken on the aspect of a fully saffron-robed monk, Shakyamuni himself. You should think behind your teacher is a famous and well-known Bodhi tree of enlightenment. And surrounding you, on your left, is your mother. Your mother is past or alive, it doesn't matter. You visualize on your left your mother. You visualize on your right your father, facing the Buddha together with you. Why? This exercise is meant for you to not forget those who are kind to you. Behind you are your relatives and your friends and all the people that have helped you and benefited you, that have done good things to you. They are behind you, for they are not forgotten. We should never forget. And more importantly, those people that have harmed you, damaged you, disappointed you, hurt you, put them in front of you facing the Buddha. Why? In spirituality, we test our strength and our level of practice by those who hurt us and how we react. I repeat, in spirituality, we test our level, our sincerity, and our strength by those who hurt us and how we react to them. So we put all those that harmed us in the front, in a special place. And all around us is all sentient beings of the 6 realms. The 6 realms does not include just planet Earth. There are existences beyond our planet that many beings exist. All realms in samsara are surrounding us, looking at the Buddha, who is glimmering, who is a light, who is at peace, who is the very synthesis of all enlightened beings that exist. And we take refuge. We should think, I will not kill. I will not steal. I will not lie. I will not cheat. I will control my speech. I will use myself to benefit others. In serving others, I serve myself. And by serving myself, I make everyone happy. By making everyone happy, I become happy. Sidetrack a little bit. Last night, I blogged about Jane Goodall. I watched the video on her, 2 parts, and I blogged it, it's posted, and listened to her teach and speak and tell you what she's doing with her life, free of religious dogma. She will touch you and she'll go very deep. And there's one part that says that when she travels, she tells the young people, materialism and money never makes you happy. Watch, go to my blog and look at that video of Jane Goodall. She's a very, very powerful person and powerful spokesperson who works for our planet, to save our planet. You take a look. I just blogged it last night. Now, think that you're in Bodh Gaya. You're in the presence of Shakyamuni. Your mother is on the left. Your father is on the right. Your enemies, or so-called enemies, are in the front. And all those that have helped you are behind you, and all sentient beings surround you. And from now on, you should think, I take refuge. I will repeat the words of refuge to you. Namo Guru Be, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhamma, Namo Sanghaya. After I repeat it, after I say it, you repeat it. After I repeat it on the third time, you should think, I have received my refuge vows. I have accepted the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and I will work very hard to overcome my selfishness. I am not working hard to spread the doctrine of Buddha. I am not working hard to gain something. I am not working hard to be saved. I'm working hard to overcome my selfishness after I take refuge. And be sincere about that. If you are sincere about that, I promise you, as you go farther and farther away from the day of your refuge, your mind will become more and more and more peaceful, more and more happy, more and more developed, and more concerned for others. For sure. You should think that like that very strongly. Everything I've spoken today, please, if you are not sleeping, put it inside your minds and think about it. Remember, the essence of religion is not praying to a supernormal being to ask the being to take our problems away that we created. The essence of religion is to develop our mind so that we can deal with the problems we have created and to stop creating more problems. By learning about religion, spirituality, we learn different methods. All religions are good. All religious doctrines are good. All religious teachers that teach peace and harmony and tolerance are good. So take the religious doctrine that you feel comfortable with and do not stop at just accepting it and going through a ceremony of baptismal like we just did, or refuge, but go further. After you've been baptized, as if you have been today, after this, transform your minds. Become a messenger of peace. Become a messenger of tolerance. Do not put other religions down. Study your own religion and become powerful, generous, patient, kind, and extremely giving people. Give of your time, your intelligence, your energy. Why? The only thing that can help you at the time of death is everything you do now. Everything is unsure. Relationships, health, length of life, happiness, everything is unsure, but death is for sure. And in my business, in what I do, I hear about death and the sick every single week. Every single week, I get an SMS, a message to pray for someone. Someone has died. Every single week. In 1 week, it could be 3 persons have died. 2 persons have died. Minimum 1. Every single week. Which one of us will be next? And if you think you're too young, some of the messages are from young people who have died or very ill. So whatever you are unhappy about will not matter at the time of death. Whatever you are happy about will not matter at the time of death. Whatever you have accumulated will not matter at the time of death. Whatever business you are doing now to prove yourself to the world that you're successful will be a waste of time at the time of death. Why? Because they bury you under the ground, alone, cold, with none of the things you've achieved. Every day visualize yourself being put inside the ground, alone. Open up a coffin, put yourself inside. See them digging, see them putting yourself inside the ground and putting the dirt over you, and the light is gone forever. That's not morbidity, that is the truth. In the southern Thai traditions of Buddhism, they meditate on death every day. That's why they keep skeletons in the temples. In the Roman Catholic tradition, they have many Catholic priests who keep skulls of previous priests in the chapels to remind them of death and what is important. In the Tibetan tradition, people who are going to pass away or relative pass away will donate a thigh bone of themselves or their family after they have died to the High Lamas to use as an offering to remember death. So there's nothing morbid. If you want real spirituality in your face that is genuine and true, please, every single day in your meditations when you're doing Omara Bhasanadi, visualize yourself being put inside a coffin or burned. Up to you. Visualize yourself being put inside the fire and being burned up. Your hair, your teeth, your cheeks, your fingers, your toes, all burned up. Visualize yourself looks like I hit the right key. Now the Bamba department's going to come here. Never mind. Everybody concentrate here. Everybody concentrate here. Visualize yourself being put inside the ground. Visualize. If fear arises, good. Don't stay with the fear. Go one step further. Practice the Dharma. If fear arises, that is good. Because there's good fear and there's bad fear. Good fear is when it propels you to do something. Bad fear is when you do nothing and you stay frozen. Then you shouldn't visualize it? No, it means you're avoiding the truth. Every day visualize. You're dying. You're being put inside a coffin. You're being lowered into the ground and the dirt is over you. Do you know why? For some of us in this room, it's soon. Very soon. No matter how much you think you're comfortable with. So that is to visualize what is coming so that we can do something more with our lives now. Remember, if you do this meditation correctly, fear will arise, but that fear will propel you to do more. In the first chapter of Lam Rim, death and impermanence. That's where this teaching comes from. Okay, good. Now, good night, everybody. Have a good evening. Drive home very safely. Nice to see all of you, faces that I know and faces I don't know. And those of you that I've known, get involved with Kechara, get involved with one of the departments, and do something. Don't just eat, sleep, work, pay the bills, eat, sleep, work, pay the bills, and then end up old, and then just wait for death. Do more. Do more. Work for others. Do charities tirelessly. Benefit others. Use your life for others. Use your life for others. That is the best religion in the world.